Ready? Well, good morning, everybody. As most of you know, on Tuesday, we unanimously passed fair notice in Miami-Dade County, which requires landlords to give at least 60 days notice before they increase anyone's rent above 5%. And that really is designed to stop what we have been seeing in the past months and weeks, where people get, sometimes with days notice, outrageous rent increases. Sometimes I'm hearing of $1,000 a month, other people $300-400 a month. Either way, people have been living their lives, and it's a huge disruption. So I'm very, very proud of the entire county commission in making this happen. I also want to reflect that today is March 17th, and the mayor is signing this ordinance. It will go into effect on March 25th. But I want to point out that the entire time I've been on the commission, this is the fastest ordinance we have ever brought to fruition. It was on first reading on March 1st, and before March goes out, we will have implemented a broad-scale protection for tenants in Miami-Dade County. And that speed, I offer a big, big thank you to the chairman of the county commission, because without his willingness and also without the vote of my colleagues to accelerate this ordinance, we would not have been able to make sure the public hearing got noticed on time and make sure we were able to bring this back within 2 weeks' time. So literally from first reading to second reading passage, it was 14 days. That, I hope, tells people how seriously every one of us on the commission takes this rental crisis and affordable housing crisis. So I'm happy to be here today with the people that have fought not only for this change, but always fight to make lives better for our residents and our tenants and working families as they live their lives and want to live it well here in the county. So I'll just maybe let Sandra Denis come and speak to us from the Miami Workers Center. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Commissioner Higgins. Thank you, Mayor Cava. This is indeed a great day in Miami-Dade County. I would be remiss if I didn't say that the only reason why we're here today is because of the courageous acts of tenants all over Miami-Dade County, from Little Havana to Liberty City to Hialeah, who really are standing up for themselves and their neighbors, coming together and saying that Miami-Dade County should be a place where everyone can live, grow, and thrive. I also want to name that the organizers with Miami Workers Center are receiving day-to-day calls every day of people really trying to figure out what they're going to do about these rent hikes. So we know that this is just a start. So much appreciation for Commissioner Higgins, but we're ready and looking forward to Tenant Bill of Rights, right to counsel for tenants in Miami-Dade County. And so we'll hope that just like we've had support from the entire commission, we'll continue to have support to ensure that tenants in Miami-Dade County have a fair shot and are able to remain in this county. Thank you so much.
Good morning, everyone, and good luck on St. Patrick's Day. I hope you're wearing green. Well, Miami-Dade County is truly a special place. We all know that. We're rich in natural history, our environment. We benefit from our diverse culture, our language, and our food, and we're resilient like nowhere else in this country. We are also a community of immigrants and transplants who've come to Miami for greater opportunities and a higher quality of life. And so we are the place where the American dream is still possible. But over the past year, we have become one of the most unaffordable cities, where people are struggling every single day to pay the rent and pay their bills. And so we are stifling the opportunity for those who are hurting, our working families, and our seniors and others on fixed incomes. So every day we're hearing stories of the rent skyrocketing and individuals and families who are forced to move because they can no longer afford to stay where they have been living. It isn't just a problem in Miami-Dade. We know that it's a problem all across the country, but renters are feeling the effects of rising prices here more than anywhere else. So we need to continue to grow. We need to continue to attract our high-quality talent, but we also need to make sure that we address our affordable housing crisis. To make it easier for our workers to live here, we must support our workforce, we must support our families and our seniors. So my administration has been working tirelessly to find solutions to make housing more affordable for our residents, including alternative funding sources for developers to bring down the costs, incentivizing more sustainable construction, making it easier to build, and helping to maintain buildings as habitable through low-interest loans. And over the past year, we are actively engaged in increasing supply. We have 14,000 units being developed that are more affordable, and that is going to support our workforce as well. And we're working with the Board of County Commissioners, and I want to thank Commissioner Eileen Higgins for her leadership on these issues. We're strengthening local protections. We're implementing an affordable housing framework countywide that will preserve housing and support tenants, and we're expanding home ownership opportunities as well. For first-time home buyers with for down payment assistance, the Miami-Dade Housing Finance Authority, Miami-Dade Economic Advocacy Trust, and our Public Housing and Community Development departments are all working together. But as you've heard, that is not enough. We need additional action, and our residents need it now. And so that is why I am so very proud to stand here in support of this legislation brought by Commissioner Higgins, passed by our county commission, and it provides two measures of relief. The ordinance will require a 60-day notice before a landlord can increase the rent by more than 5%, and it also extends the notice period for evictions from 30 to 60 days. This is very significant. These are concrete steps that will help families stay in their homes or give them more time to find other options, whether it's finding additional sources of revenue, rebalancing their budgets, or unfortunately having to relocate. And it provides an additional buffer to protect our mothers, our children, and our seniors from sudden eviction and rent increases. Miami Beach and Hialeah have already adopted similar measures. I want to thank them for that, and I'm hopeful that other municipalities around our county will continue to take action and support our hardworking renters. So the bottom line is that our residents deserve better. They deserve to be able to stay in their homes and to live in our beautiful county without fear, without anxiety of sudden loss of their homes. And I want to thank again Commissioner Higgins and the advocates, the Miami Workers Center, Community Justice Project, and others who've come together to champion this legislation. All of the residents who've had the courage to speak out, who've come out forcefully asking for relief, they've made their voices heard, and we have heard them. So thank you to everyone for working so hard to find solutions, and now we'll take questions. Now we'll take any questions. Thank you. En español. Ajá. Estaba esperando para la parte en español. Ok. Estamos acá con un grupo de residentes abogando para justicia para los que alquilan en este condado. Los precios han aumentado tanto y necesitan tiempo para prepararse, buscar más fondos si es posible o buscar otro lugar para la vivienda. Y estamos unidos gracias al liderazgo de la comisionada Eileen Higgins y el apoyo de los otros comisionados. Ya tenemos un paso adelante que va a mejorar la situación, dando 60 días de noticia para la subida de las rentas más que 5% y también para salir si tienen que relocalizarse. Estamos muy agradecidas por esto, pero tenemos que seguir adelante con otros pasos. También estamos construyendo vivienda asequible, 14 unidades y bajando el precio de la construcción y siguiendo con la oficina de los derechos de los inquilinos y abogacía para la vivienda asequible. Gracias de nuevo a todos que han apoyado estos cambios y vamos a seguir adelante protegiendo a nuestros residentes. Gracias. Questions?
Any other changes that Tenant Bill of Rights and any other changes?
So the Tenants' Bill of Rights is coming back to the commission, and I'll suggest that we have Commissioner Higgins speak to it. But I will tell you, I'm in full support, and we worked with tenants groups throughout the county to arrive at something that we could support with a new office. And I was planning to have a housing advocacy office, but because of their advocacy, it grew from 1 to 3 people. And therefore, we're going to be working aggressively to educate landlords and tenants about their rights, to make sure that they have the support they need to vindicate those rights, as well as to work on expanding our supply of affordable housing. Do you want to
yes.
speak to it?
Well, so the Tenant Bill of Rights, we have done first reading on that item, and that has been sponsored by my colleagues, Commissioner Monesteem and also Commissioner Regalado. We should be reviewing that during committee in April, and then have it out the door the first week in May. There are a number of things that are included in the Tenant Bill of Rights, including fair notice, right? So check. We haven't yet passed it, but we've already taken steps. There are other things that are also important in this. One is making sure that everybody knows their rights. The other is right to counsel. So many of our residents, when they get an eviction notice, they have no ability to navigate the system to try to fight that eviction. And so we will, as a commission, need to look deeply as to what that could mean to expand access to legal support for residents going through eviction. That's also why this week, through the American Rescue Plan funds that were allocated to District 5, I made a $200,000 allocation to legal services of Greater Miami so they could assist residents of District 5 who need legal counsel. Their cases are skyrocketing these days, and so I felt it was important to get started on having more availability of legal counsel in District 5. And I am sure we will be doing a few more things in the budget to make that happen. There are other things in there, for example, application fees. Right now, if a person gets a notice, their rent is too high, they get an eviction notice, they have to apply for another apartment. And there's no cap here on how much someone can charge for that fee. And we are hearing stories of people paying $100, $150 for these applications. Then they get denied, they don't get that apartment, they don't get that money back. Imagine being a low-income resident. So we are right now investigating with the county attorneys whether we have the authority at the county level to put a cap on these funds. On these application fees. There is a chance, as happens in many housing-related issues, that we are preempted by the state. But I am in the process of evaluating that right now. We do not want application fees to be a profit center for greedy landlords who might take 100, 150 applications at $100 each for one apartment, and literally they are taking money from residents who have mouths to feed back at home. So there's a number of really important issues, so stay tuned at committee in April, and the Housing Committee will be talking about them in great detail and determining how we can take action on them, or if we need to ask Tallahassee for permission to take action on them. Thank you.
Can I follow on that?
Yeah.
This is a new county right to have a lawyer in an eviction.
This is part of the Tenant Bill of Rights, is to consider if there is a way in the county to look for a right to counsel.
But if it were to pass tomorrow, that would trigger that right. That's just a study.
The Tenant Bill of Rights is essentially a list of items that, well, Sandra, you explain it. Yeah, why don't we go to the expert?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Doug, for that question. For us, we are wanting to work with the administration and commissioners to do a pilot to begin with. right to counsel, what would it cost for us to have more attorneys available through legal services of Greater Miami, through other advocacy legal organizations to really support the amount of tenants, the number of tenants that we are seeing coming into eviction court or not even responding to evictions because they don't know that that's their right. And so we definitely need to get in front of that because we see that in other counties and other cities where there is right to counsel, eviction numbers go down and there's more process in between around mediation for people to find a solution before they get to the court system. Absolutely. And one more thing on the application fees. I think that not only are we seeing folks looking for apartments for, let's say, 10 months, 8 months where they can't find something, so it's $100 per application across the county. So we have members who spend upwards of $1,000 on application fees just to still not have an apartment to live in. And that is not money that they can get back. It's really causing an issue. So again, we're in the process of listening closely to our tenants and really thinking about innovative solutions alongside our government partners to make sure that we can answer their issues in the best way that we can.
Great. Yeah. And I'll just add, point of personal reference, I used to be a legal services attorney and handled some of these cases. And Legal Services of Greater Miami is one of the groups that is funded by county government generally. So it could be a matter of focusing support. So we'll see. And others that are doing this work as well.
There are no more questions on there. We have a resident who came to.
Oh, yes, please.
Might mean to her.
Oh, good.
Oh, my.
There you go.
Okay. Hi, my name is Nadira Sabir, and I live in North Miami Beach. Passing this 60-day notice, I've seen the impact of not having it. I personally was given 2 weeks' notice of a rent increase. I was late a week, and I was hit with an unexpected eviction notice, and I tried to find representation, and I could not within the 5-day notice that they gave me. And I ended up having to pay upwards of $600 in their legal fees after we were able to talk and negotiate. But I was negotiating from a place of ignorance and powerlessness. And most people would not even make that phone call to try to negotiate with that landlord. They would just be gone. So this is so important for so many people. We don't know our rights here in South Miami. So thank you for passing this. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your leadership and advocacy, because the people who live here, the people who love here, the people who call Miami home and have for generations, we need you, and we need this. Thank you.
And we have a second resident who might be willing to give a few comments in Spanish.
I can give a couple comments in Spanish, thank you. Buenas tardes, buenos días, todavía estamos en el día. ¿Cómo están? Mi nombre es Norma, yo soy una organizadora de inquilinos con el Miami Workers Center. Me estoy trabajando ahorita con inquilinos alrededor de Hialeah, de la Pequeña Habana, que han informado esta ley y estamos súper inspirados por el liderazgo de los inquilinos que están viviendo estos tipos de condiciones, estos tipos de situaciones y que hacen la decisión de defenderse, ¿no? En un momento en cuando sienten que no tienen poder, en un estado en que tienen muy pocas protecciones por el estado de Florida, o sea, por la ley como es. Con el inquilino y el propietario, pues estamos muy orgullosos, estamos muy inspirados por el liderazgo de los inquilinos que empujaron esto adelante, por el liderazgo de los comisionados, de la comisionada Eileen Higgins, de la alcaldesa, o sea, estamos orgullosos, honestamente, y sabemos que es un primer paso a lo que puede ser posible para tener más protecciones para las familias que viven en Miami-Dade, que han vivido en Miami-Dade por muchos años, que merecen mejor. Muchas gracias.
Great. All right. So gather round.
You ladies get in there.
So just to make sure everybody knows, this was the good luck pen that my predecessor gave me at my installation to use for important matters. Say thank you, Mayor Jimenez, now Congressman. And in a way, he's present with us today. Okay. So with this, I waive my veto on this matter because clearly I'm in full support. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
And we're here with our Chief of Community Services. Where did he go?
Right here.
Morris
Oh, there's
Copeland.
Morris.
And our Chief of Public Safety. You know him as Freddie Ramirez. So if anyone has any questions for either of them. Thank you. Want to get in the picture, Freddie?
Yeah, come
Doug's
up
taking
here.
a picture.
So I was gonna get a picture of what she signed.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. There you go.
It's not fancy, but that's the law.
All right, come, yeah.